I know this seems a little boring to do this, but sometimes you gotta revolve around this method in order to beat him, which is a little stupid and kind of cheap, but, like, at some point if he ends up letting his guard down, that's the only way you can beat him. Bam! We are back, gang, for another episode of Kirby Fighters 2. We're back with, of course, episode number 128 of the series, since in the last episode, we recently just went through single-handed mode with our second-to-last dream friend, Kirby. I'll admit that my run with him wasn't as clean as I wished, but I was able to actually clear the mode with Kirby. So, at least that's something, right? Anyways, we're back in the mode in this game once again to continue through some more of the story, but before we get started with what we're going to deal with today, you may notice that I did a lot of grinding off screen, and almost am at rank 94. Before we get started, let's go ahead and do a small little battle before we do anything. And I think for a change, I want to actually do a team battle this time. Since it's been a minute since I last done one of these, and I figured it would be better to do this now, so why not? I'm going to do me King DDD with Meta Knight, and then our team is going to be Bandana Waddle Dee and Gooey. And as for where I'm going to do this at, I'm going to be different for a change and actually choose Stage of Distinct Rivals this time, since it has been a minute since I last been to this level back in the past, and I figured, why not? Might as well do this stage this time around. I want to be a little different, so let's go ahead and do this level. Alright, let's go. Man, it's been a hot minute since I last done this. Bam! Okay, that was gonna happen. Oh, I got it? Oh, I thought they got it for a second. Okay, never mind. Okay, well that did not matter. Okay. Well then, damn, I didn't expect that. Alright, got my 500 points. Thank you very much. Alright. Okay, so, for today's episode, we're going to head back over to single-handed mode. But before we begin with what we're going to be doing for today's video, I need to actually address a couple of things. First, I improved on the bomb ability a little bit and got a silver medal, since previously I got a pathetic medal and was able to improve this by 5 minutes. So, not as good, but it's decent. For Belle here, I actually improved on this by changing this from a bronze to a gold, and I improved by 2 minutes. So, I'm pretty proud of this new record that I got. For Meta Knight here, I improved from bronze to actually a silver and then a platinum. So I improved by 3 whole minutes, which was really freaking impressive from the last time I went through this. And then as for Gooey, I also improved him from a bronze to a platinum, and shockingly it took only 1 attempt for me to actually get this to a platinum. For the others it took about 8 to 3 to 4. So I'm pretty shocked that I was able to improve Gooey's by just 1 attempt. Now, as far as it's concerned with what ability I want to use today, I actually had a lot of difficulty with what ability I want to use. Because there's only 7 in the game left that I have not used as of currently. Those 7 being Yo-Yo, Beetle, Water, Beam, Hammer, Cutter, and Parasol. And to be honest, I'm not sure which of these 7 I want to do for this video, but I know for certain that I can't do Parasol, Hammer, or Beetle since I hadn't gotten the last rare hats yet for any of these abilities yet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to obtain them later, but I'm going to for sure save these 3 for last. So, this means that for the remainder of the abilities, I'm actually not sure which of these I want to do. I think of the abilities that I could choose from, I think I'm personally going to do Cutter for this episode, as I hadn't used this ability in quite a while, and since I used the Sir Kibble Hat in hard difficulty last time when I went through this, for this episode, I'm going to be ultimately using the Punk Mohawk Cutter for this one, since this is the only one that I hadn't used yet in a difficulty. So, we'll use this for very hard difficulty. Now, I got no clue how this is going to perform, so anything can happen. So let's just see how this goes. Okay, first up is the Stormy Beam. And this one is using the Francisca Beam. Alright. I need to be careful because single-handed mode is pretty brutal and very hard difficulty, especially within the double and triple battles that you have here. So I really got to be cautious about this. I actually got him cornered. Damn! He legit could not do anything. I legit just cornered him. Damn, son. Okay, I guess that's one way to actually KO opponents quickly. Though that's probably not going to be the same for every opponent. Anyway, next up is the Juggernaut Gooey. So Gooey this time, man. Okay, I see him. I knew it. Okay, well, I wasn't gonna get out of that one. You really dropped the bomber on top of that. That was not cool, Gooey. Ooh, thank God I dodged it. Thank you for almost saving me. Oh, I just barely was able to grab it. How am I still living? I'm really questioning how in the world I lived that whole entire thing for like a minute and somehow did not die, because I thought for sure I died there, but somehow, some way I did not die. That took a little longer than it should, but that was only because I got scared that Gooey was going to kill me right away, so I probably should not have hesitated there, but you never know sometimes, because if you die, you have to redo it from the beginning, and that ain't fun to deal with, so I'm kind of glad that I trusted my instincts and was able to beat him, but phew, that was too close. That was far too close for comfort. Anyway, next up is the Supreme Hammer and the Destroying Artist. Oh crap, Hammer is here, and Artist too. Okay. I don't know how this combo is going to go, but already I'm going to smell trouble with this one. Well, let's see what we can do here. Come on, Kirby. Hammer I'm not too worried about because it takes too long to activate attacks. I think it's Artist that I'm more scared about because that's the one that has the more range in the attacks. So that's the one I'm going to have to really focus with. If I can stop getting hit all the time. Oh my god, that was a freaking close call. I almost got killed by that. What are you doing? I was really questioning what that Kirby was doing over there. Okay, the good news is that we took out the big threat. So all that's left to do is just deal with Hammer. So thankfully, that's not going to be too much of an issue. Oh, jeez! I didn't see that coming. Wow, that was a really stupid idea to do that. Phew! Close call! I almost got killed by that too. When in doubt, just go for a regular cutter. Because otherwise you're going to immediately get killed and that's not going to be fun. But I will admit that took a little longer than anticipated, but at least I was able to win it, so at least that's something, I guess, right? Anyway, next up is the Hardened Archer and the Terrifying Gooey. Oh, crap. Okay, already this team is going to be a problem. I've had a lot of struggle with this team in the past. When I was grinding for experience to get up to this point, I actually struggled with this team a little bit. So, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. And then immediately I just get combo attacked. Of course. That's the biggest problem associated with these teams. You really got to figure out how you're going to get through them, because otherwise you're just going to get pummeled like that. And the problem with Archer is that it has a long range of his attacks, so that's another issue that I don't like. They just have an unfair advantage against you most of the time. I mean, not that I'm saying that it's impossible to beat them, but still. See, like that, for example, you're not able to do any meaningful damage. Okay, well, I'm going to die here. Yep. That was going to happen. Alright, we're going to try that again. It was going to happen eventually, so... I mean, what are you going to do at this point? It was going to happen, so... just keep trying. Don't give up until you finish it, okay? That's what they always say, right? Okay, this run's going by a little better, but I don't want to count chickens yet. And then immediately I just fumbled. Come on, bro! I was just about to throw that firework, and then the whole thing ended up hitting me before I'm able to do anything. Okay. Alright, that distraction actually gave me the window that I needed. Nice! Okay, that did not matter. So we finally got rid of that threat, so now we just gotta deal with Gooey. There we go. The problem is, if you don't master these abilities, you're going to end up really struggling a lot. That's why I've been always using Hammer all throughout my lifetime, so using other abilities just feels very foreign to me. Not that I'm saying that I'm not good with these abilities, but it can sometimes be very stressful to use the right move and tactic, just so that you don't get yourself destroyed by these bosses. And if you're not careful, like what happened there earlier, you're not going to be able to get through them fast enough, so you really got to be cautious with that. Anyway, next up is the Stormy Water. And already this is going to be a problem, because I'm not a big fan of battling against water in very hard difficulty. And I'll let you know right now, I've had a big amount of hatred towards this ability when battling against it, because I'm horrible with water, but when the actual Kirby opponents use water, they're pros with that ability. I don't know why, but they're able to get these insane combos that I can't. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm just that bad with the ability or something, but I'm just not good with this ability for the life of me. It's actually ridiculous of how bad I am with this ability. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but still, you really have to master it in order to figure out what you're supposed to do here, you know what I mean? So, although I'm kind of surprised that I'm taking this rather lightly, so. Oh, thank you for that! And I'm actually back to full HP, if you can believe it, which is crazy. Aye! And then immediately I just lose. I couldn't finish the combo, but that's okay. Gosh darn it! I was gonna try and do a combo attack on him, but I couldn't. Although I pretty much cornered him here, so. Oh, you made a bad mistake, boy. You gave me the invisibility. Well, that was meant for you. You get punished for that. My man literally just dragged me straight into that candy, and then he immediately just met his demise as a result. That's what your dumbass gets for giving me that candy. You should have given that to yourself. What an idiot. But I'm not going to count my chickens, because now is where the actual difficulty starts to come into play. Okay, next up is the far-returned whip and the ominous whip. Alright, so we got a twin whip situation to deal with. I don't think dealing with two whips is too bad. The problem is they have a lot of range with their whips. And on top of that, they can very easily trick you if you're not being careful. So I do recommend you be careful with these two. Okay, immediately I'm not off to a good start. I got no exact clue. I was about to say I have no clue how I dodged that, but lo and behold, And then immediately I get hammered in the face. Are you kidding me? I just barely was able to escape that, and I got no clue how I did that. But that's actually crazy that I dodged that. How did I dodge that, actually? Wow. If that's not what's called the worst combo I've ever seen, that is purely the definition of it. I legit just got whipped and then immediately fireworked into a death combo that just immediately just destroyed me. That was kind of dirty of them to do that. But to be fair, that was a smart play that they did. So I gotta hand it to them for that. But, wow, that was seriously dirty. I cannot actually believe they did me like that. In my defense, I didn't realize they were going to do that to begin with anyway, but that was a pretty smart move for them to do. So, give credit where credit's due, you know? Alright, the good news is that actually distracted him, so... Oh, that was not a good idea. Yep, that was not a good idea. What was I thinking? My plan was that I was going to try and trick them to get over there, but unfortunately, not only did that miserably fail, but on top of that, I went into the explosion range myself. So, yeah, that was not the smartest choice. Okay, I blame myself for that, because that was not a smart move for me to do that. Okay, this is practically going to take me a couple of attempts, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get through this in one go like that. Okay, how the hell am I going to do this? Yep, that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to happen anyway, because he kept on spamming his whip, so obviously I was not going to make it. Okay, we're trying that again and actually making this work. Come on, man. We're not going to fail this. We're not ending this on an L. We're gonna figure this situation out. We're gonna figure this out. Even if it means taking a lot of attempts to just finish up one deal. I don't care how long it takes. As long as I figure out what you're supposed to do here, then that's perfectly chill with me. Oh, that was actually a good method. I had no choice. I was worried I was going to get hit by the hammer, so... Oh, no, that was not going to work. Well, to begin with, I should have figured that was going to happen, but I thought he was actually going to be late-timed with that whip, but I was wrong. Apparently, he was not late-timed with his whip. Okay, that's my fourth time failing that. All right. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out. It's obviously not going to be a platinum for sure, but, I mean, who knows? It may be a bronze if we're lucky, but that depends on how this goes. Alright, so far this run's going by a little better. Oh, that was dirty. Well, the good news is that we took care of that whip, Kirby, so just this guy left to deal with. I don't think that's really gonna matter. Oh, boy! You got yourself punished. That is what you get. He thought he was going to get away from me, but that star actually managed to make him fall asleep. That's what your dumbass gets for trying to outsmart me. Man, am I so lucky that happened, man, because had that hammer not hit him, and then he went to sleep after that, I would have been screwed, but thankfully I was able to get past it. Whew. That one, I'm not going to lie, was a little brutal. That took a little bit of thinking to figure out how I was supposed to get out of there, but I managed to get out, so thank God for that. Okay, next up is the fake sword and the Juggernaut yo-yo. I don't think this one should be too hard, I don't think, but I don't want to count chickens. This is very hard difficulty we're talking about, and you saw me already getting obliterated several times within that last battle, so who knows, this might be the hardest one even after that crazy one. Okay, immediately I'm not off to a good start. Okay. Now, the battle that I'm scared about after this is the triple battle, because you got 3 opponents to deal with. And depending on how this goes, this can either go very great or very bad. There's like no in between, so... Okay, the good news is that I can actually use that to my own benefit. Alright? Not now, freaking Joy-Con. How many times has that happened now where the freaking thing tells me it's low on battery? Oh. Okay. Well, that safe spot is pretty much gone. The good news, though, is I can get this to my own benefit. I barely was able to escape that, but you know why? It's because that Sword Kirby tried to get me with that Gordo, but he instead actually got himself stuck, and so therefore he couldn't really escape from it. So therefore he ended up just getting destroyed by his own trap. And then therefore I was able to get rid of the Yo-Yo Kirby after that, thanks to that. So I'm kind of thankful that that happened, but now is the battle that I'm actually very concerned about. Because we gotta now deal with 3 opponents. The Phenomenal Hammer, the Stormy Wrestler, and the Supreme Magolor. Okay, this is probably the worst combo that I got. Hammer, Wrestler, and Magolor at once. This is not going to turn out good. I'm going to predict that it's probably going to take me at least 2 or so minutes to get through this battle, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get through this with regular attacks. Like, Hammer I'm not too scared about. It's Wrestler and Magolor that are the real threats, because they're the ones that have the most amount of range. And not only that, I experienced with this several times, and they're really brutal to deal with. Like, the amount of times I actually got obliterated by freaking Wrestler of all abilities is actually ridiculous. You generally do not understand how many times I got destroyed by those guys. Like, I actually need to have Gigavolt's help for this situation. There is no way I'm going to be able to do this on my own. See? Like that. That's what I exactly mean. Because they throw you into traps like that, and then you easily just get obliterated by them, so... Yep, yeah, I'm gonna die. Yep, that was gonna happen. I told you I was gonna die here. Like, I was not kidding. When I tell you that these opponents can get very brutal, that is what I mean. Because... you know, you have no idea what you're getting into, and the next thing you know, you just get immediately destroyed like that. So, that's why I'm scared of this, because and like I said, it's not Hammer that I'm worried about. Hammer takes too long for the attacks to really register. It's freaking Wrestler and Magolor that I'm really scared about, so. I actually stopped him with that. Wow, I'm impressed. I don't know how in the world I dodged that guy, but that's actually crazy that I dodged him. Oh, that was a bad decision, bro. I'm just gonna throw this immediately. Okay, the good news is that I took care of one of the threats, but there's still Wrestler that I gotta deal with now. I'm actually shocked that that did not kill me. I thought that did, but somehow that did not. Okay, the good news is that I finally took care of those 2 threats. Oh wait, I didn't die? Oh, it's because the Yellow Kirby died first. Okay, that got me confused. I actually thought that I died there for a second, but somehow I did not actually die, which was weird. Okay. And what the heck is going on with Kirby's glare there? Okay, that was weird. Well, okay, the good news is that we were able to get through that battle, but good job I got rid of those 2 threats, and then finally that Yellow Kirby died because he was stupid and didn't realize the Gigavolt was coming in. But I'm telling you guys, if you don't pay attention to what's going on, you can immediately get obliterated like that, which is why, with these new abilities that I'm testing out that are not Hammer, I'm not good with some of them. There are some that I'm actually good with, like Artist and Bell, but some, like with Cutter, for example, I'm not an expert with that, so, yeah. Don't judge me, guys, but it's just my personal view, okay? So, let's move on. Alright, finally is Shadow Kirby with the Punk Mohawk Cutter ability. Oh boy, it's been a minute since I last battled against this guy with an ability, but hopefully we'll be able to actually beat him. But I'm not betting on it, because the last few times I battled him, he was pretty brutal, so let's just see how this goes. I think if I can actually corner him, I think I'm pretty much good and square here. I actually thought he got me there, but somehow, some way, he didn't, which is pretty shocking. Aye! That was gonna happen. Okay, that did actually work in my favor a little bit, so I'll give props to that. Aye! Okay, already I'm not off to a good start with this. Okay, well, your dude's about to die. Yep, that was gonna happen. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna get a bronze after that, sadly, because I'm pretty much out of the bronze range after this. So I'm just gonna try and beat him for now with what I got. I don't really care at this point. As long as I just get through this and at least get one attempt in with Cutter, then that's fine. But it's clear that I'm gonna have to really improve on this a little bit because I'm not good with this ability, if you couldn't already tell. So already I'm at a big disadvantage because of that. Gosh darn it! Wow, I got obliterated. Okay. Darn it, I did it too early. Yeah, that was my own fault. I was getting a bit too cocky, so that's why that happened. Okay, we're gonna try it again. I know I'm gonna get a pathetic medal for this, but you know what? I don't really care at this point. I don't really care. As long as I get through this and actually just get at least something out of it because of the good moments that have happened in this video, then I personally do not care. So you know what? Call me crazy, but I don't care at this point. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Okay, I see you. Crap, I got cocky again. Okay, well, that wasn't gonna work. But to begin with, I didn't do enough damage to him anyway, so that's why I couldn't really do anything. So, we're trying that again. I'm not giving up. You cannot convince me to give up. A good gamer doesn't give up, darn it. He keeps trying until he finally wins, okay? I don't care how many attempts this takes. As long as I finish the boss, that's all I care about. So I do not care at this point. Gosh darn, son. There we go. I know this seems a little boring to do this, but sometimes you gotta revolve around this method in order to beat him, which is a little stupid and kind of cheap, but like, at some point if he ends up letting his guard down, that's the only way you can beat him. Bam! That's probably not the intended way that you're supposed to beat him, but if you get him in the right position, you can do that to cheese the battle, but it's very difficult to do that sometimes, because he can't outsmart you. But the good news is that we were able to beat through this with Punk Mohawk Cutter, so at least that's something, right? Like, no, like, look, I know I got a pathetic medal, but you can't blame me that this is at least a little better than some of the other records I had in the past. So, cut me some slack, okay? It's not perfect, but I managed to get through it with Cutter, so I don't really care at this point. Besides, I'm going to improve this later when I go off screen, so it's not that big of a deal, so I don't care at this point. Alright, how many points did we get for that? Ah, 12,000! Not bad! And with that, we finally make it to rank 94. We now have access to Setonian Queen's Parasol. So that's what that parasol was called that whole time. Aha! I I see. Alright, well, we finally gained access to a new parasol ability after all that time, so I guess that's something, right? Alright, so for the next ranking, we need to have 2,495,000 points. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of grinding for me to do. Okay, well, even though we didn't do too good, we did at least manage to beat through this with cutters, so that's at least something. Okay, well, with that, I guess that wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I didn't do as clean as I wished, like I mentioned, but hey, I at least tried at the end of the day, so I kind of figured there was going to be some trouble I was going to run into throughout this video. But you know what? I'm going to stay committed. I'm going to have the video that I have here, so I'm not going to argue with it. Anyway, I will see you guys next time when we come back for the next episode to get back in single-handed mode and do this with the next ability. I still don't know for sure yet what ability I want to do specifically for the next video. I think I might have an idea of what I'll do, but let me think about it and I'll see what I'll do for the next ability, because I'm not completely sure what I'll do for the next one. There might be a chance that I'll do the next video with Yo-Yo, but I don't know for sure yet. So let me think about it and I'll see how I can do it. But in any case, though, I'm wrapping up this episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time when we come back for the next episode to get into the next single-handed matchup and do this with the next character on the docket. So, till next time, guys, I will see you guys later. So, till next time, guys,